Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Monday, November 21st. This is the Texan TV News, a production of the Texan News Service, and I'm Rebecca Downs. Today's headlines include Tarleton Kinesiology to host annual research symposium. The European Union wants to ban shark finning. A Tarleton committee hosts annual food drive. Sports and weather. And now, today's top story. In campus news, on December 6th, Tarleton will host the 4th annual Kinesiology Research Symposium. 32 Tarleton graduate students who have conducted scholarly research will present their findings at the symposium. The College of Education's Department of Kinesiology is sponsoring the symposium and welcomes the public to hear students' presentations. The symposium, to be held from 6 to 8 p.m., will showcase students' research posters, some of which were presented at the recent A&M University System Pathways Student Research Symposium in College Station. Dr. Kayla Peak, Assistant Professor of Kinesiology, said, "This event allows our students to become engaged in professional scholarship. Some will use this experience as a jumping-off point to get involved or to go on to other conferences to present their research, while others will pursue a full investigation of their research and consider a thesis option as part of their master's degree." For more information about Tarleton's Department of Kinesiology and related degree offerings, visit tarleton.edu/kinesiology. In Texas news, the Associated Press reports that authorities say 3 Austin High School students and their bus driver were hospitalized with minor injuries after a collision with a pickup truck. Austin police said it wasn't immediately clear which vehicle ran a red light in the crash Monday morning. Police said another Austin School District bus was involved in a minor collision Monday morning, but no injuries were reported. In international news, the Associated Press reports that the European Union's executive arm said Monday that it wants to ban shark finning, the practice of removing sharks' fins and throwing the finless creatures back into the sea to die. Under the proposal approved by the European Commission, all boats in EU water and EU-registered boats anywhere in the world would have to land sharks with their fins attached to prove that the rest of the shark had not been discarded. The law, should it go into effect, would primarily affect fishing vessels from Spain and Portugal. In theory, the EU already banned shark finning, but as it now stands, the fins and bodies can be separated on board vessels with special permits and landed at different ports. The EU tries to ensure that no bodies have been discarded by making sure the weight of the fins does not exceed 5% of the entire weight of the fish landed. But environmentalists have called the EU effort too lenient and a loophole and said having the fins and carcasses offloaded at different ports made the law difficult to enforce. EU Fisheries Commissioner Maria Domenici on Monday agreed. "We want to end the horrendous practice of shark finning and protect sharks much better." The environmental group Oceana welcomed the proposal, saying it deplored the waste involved in discarding the body, which can be used for food. The practice of shark finning is driven by the lower value of shark meat compared to the fins, which are in demand in China for use in shark fin soup. Also, landing the fins and bodies still attached allows researchers to document the variety of sharks taken and use the data to protect the fish populations, said Emily Malafus, a policy advisor at Oceana. To become law, the proposal must also be approved by the European Council and the European Parliament. In Tarleton sports, according to the Empire Tribune, the Tarleton Texans handed former rival Central Oklahoma an 86-65 defeat behind senior Chris Harrell's career-high 28 points on Saturday. This is the first time in 7 games that Tarleton has defeated Central Oklahoma. The win puts the Texans at 3-0 this season. At this week's game, patrons will have the opportunity to assist the Student Athlete Advisory Committee in giving back to the community. Associate Athletics Director Susan Burton said the group likes to stay involved with the community and give back to community members for all of their support. The food drive is just another way for the advisory committee to do that. Tomorrow night, when the Texans face Lubbock Christian at 6, and the Texans face Paul Quinn at 8, Burton says bringing one non-perishable food item per person will gain you free admission to the game. All the collection food will then be distributed among local food pantries. In other sports news, according to the Associated Press, Tony Stewart won last night at Homestead and stole the Sprint Cup championship from Carl Edwards in NASCAR. Edwards was the overall leader before the race began, but Old Smoke proved to be too much, winning the race and the championship in the final race of the season. The Cowboys defeated the Redskins in overtime Sunday 27-24 at Washington. Dan Bailey squeezed in a 39-yard field goal to seal the victory. The victory puts the Cowboys at 6-4 and at the top of the NFC East for the first time this season. For today's weather, you can expect scattered storms with a high of 60 and a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 64 degrees. Today's stories came to you from the Associated Press, weather.com, and the Empire Tribune. Today's broadcast was produced by Amber Ward, Winston Dawson, Laura Proctor, and Monica Pierce. You can watch the broadcast live at ustream.tv/user/Texan TV News Service. And also you can watch our videos on YouTube at youtube.com/Texan News Service. You can also watch us on Residential Living and Learning and on Northlink Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to become a fan of us on Facebook and download our mobile app to stay in the know and on the go with Texan TV News. I am Rebecca Downs. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from Tarleton State University.